Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a reading vlog. Basically, I am back. I think by the time that this vlog goes up I would have probably uploaded another video, so this isn't a surprise to you, I don't think. This is going to be a very short introduction. I just wanted to say hi, I just wanted to start this off. Today is currently Wednesday, I want to say it's the 3rd or something like that of November. My plans are basically just to tidy up my apartment because it is literally the messiest thing in the world, read because I have not read properly in a week, and also I've started crocheting. As if I wasn't enough of an old granny, now I'm going to crochet as well. The book I'm currently reading is Legendborn by Tracy Dion. At the moment I'm really enjoying this. I will give you like a proper update at some other point. That is pretty much it. Welcome back. Although I've probably already uploaded a video, but welcome back anyway. I hope you enjoy this vlog. As I said, I thought I would talk a little bit about how I'm finding Legendborn. So, why is it all blurry? Hello. The random things that I was thinking of. First of all, the main character's name is Brie, and for some reason, every time I read her name, it makes me want to eat Brie. I haven't craved cheese in a very long time. I don't eat a lot of cheese, and for some reason just reading her name makes me want to eat Brie. That was just a really random thing. Also, this is set in Carolina, I believe. It's definitely the south of the US, and I haven't really said what it's about. Basically, Legendborn is about this kind of secret society in a university. There's magic involved, and there's also the descendants of King Arthur involved. So far I've only been introduced to the descendant of King Arthur. I don't know if there's any other descendants, but basically there are different terms in play. So we've got like the mage, or like the Merlin, who, as you can imagine, are people with magical powers that can do certain things and whatnot. And then there's also Legendborn, which I'm not quite sure exactly what it is. I feel like Legendborn are the people that are the descendants of like the Knights of the Round Table or something, but I could be wrong. I'm finding it a bit confusing. There's a lot of terms. Anyway, the thing that I was going to say is that basically we are talking about descendants of the Knights of the Round Table and King Arthur, and I'm like, why, how, what point does it make sense for it to be set in the US? This could just be me. It's got more ties to Europe and to the UK than it does to the US. So I'm just kind of a little bit salty about the fact that they moved it. Like the idea that all of, like both King Arthur's descendants, but also all the Knights of the Round Table's descendants moved over to the US, like that doesn't make sense to me. I'm enjoying it so far. As I said, it's a little bit confusing to understand like how everything is. It's a bit like a puzzle, and I'm trying to figure out where everything kind of sits and stuff like that. I also wanted to show you guys that I've seen so many people with like book carts, just like, you know, those IKEA carts or wherever they're from, like carts that people use to put their TBR in or just to put books in. And I've always wanted one, but I've never justified buying one because I'm like, I've already got a bunch of shelves. And the other day I was able to get one secondhand for free because someone was just getting rid of it. So I've now got my own book cart, which is fabulous. This is the cart. At the moment it's pretty much empty. It's just got some stuff that I've been using recently to crochet with. I've got a bunch of crochet squares because I'm making myself a patchwork cardigan. Basically my main colours are purple, blue and pink, and then because those colours are quite loud, I wanted to add something to neutralize it just a little bit. So I've also got this like beige. If you're not interested in crochet, then you are more than welcome to skip ahead, but I just wanted to talk about this because I don't know, I'm having fun with it. The way that most people do patchwork cardigans is that basically they make all the squares and then they sew them together, and that's what I was originally going to do. And then I was like, I had done one square, and then I thought, oh, I can just change colours and then continue. And like, I've done this. I actually had a few more squares than this already on it, but they got all warped. And what happens is, if you see like this bit right here, it kind of warps itself and it like goes a bad shape. So I might end up changing this. I'm pretty happy with the colours. It's nice to kind of have had a practice. Then I realised, as I said, it wasn't really working for me. So what I have then done is I've just continued making squares. So I've got a shite ton of squares here. Swear to God, I'm missing a square. Or am I just stupid? There might be something wrong with my brain, I don't know. I am such a loser that things like this make me really happy. Yes, that was that. But basically, I am going to use this card partially to store, I think, what I'm working on. Top row is going to be TBR books because my TBR isn't actually that big. So top row TBR, middle row is crochet stuff, and then the bottom row, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I'm moving all my yarn and I'm just going to start putting books in here. Also, I just love having things that can roll around. It's very fun. There's this stack of books here that I bought while I was in England. Because they're cheaper there, I'm going to put them on because I have not read any of these. I just wanted to point out that I have never heard of this before. The guy in Waterstones said that it was really good and he just finished it and blah blah blah. It's also, I believe, by an Irish author. So I wanted to pick it up. It's middle grade, it's about monsters and it's got really gorgeous pictures in it. I got that. Oh, another book that I'm, well, actually saying that I'm excited about all of these books, obviously, but one book that I'm particularly excited about because I've wanted it for ages is The House in the Cerulean Sea. This one has got yellow sprayed edges, which makes me very happy. So that was pretty much all except from this one. This is also one that I'm very excited about. This has also got sprayed edges and it's signed. Focus. I didn't realise it was signed when I picked it up, so that can go in there. Beautiful book. I think the rest of them are over here. This is the rest of my not read books. There's also some books that I have read, but we ignore that. I got Fantastic Mr. Fox from a charity shop because I am a little child deep down. There we go. I filled up my TBR card. I've also got The Five by Hallie Rubenhold, which I've had for a while. I need to read it. Can that fill in? There we go. That's my TBR. So I know I said earlier that I didn't really get the whole thing of like all of the descendants of the Knights of the Round Table moving to the US, but I've been reading a little bit more and it kind of describes how like this whole secret society thingamabob goes back so far that it literally like begins with Merlin and with Arthur and with the Knights of the Round Table. So it kind of makes sense that like basically these families are, you know, since the 6th century or whatever it was, since then they are literally like just that's all their family does, is just preparing for the fact. I'm not going to explain the whole thing because it kind of would ruin the process of reading the book if you wanted to read it. I would definitely recommend, from where I am so far, I'm not even that far in, like 140 pages. It really is taking root in the Arthurian legend. I think I haven't really read a lot of like the, I don't know if you can call them like original texts, but you know, like the text that people have written to do with the legends, and obviously legends kind of change as time goes on because people, they usually start off by word of mouth and then eventually get written down and get changed kind of like every time someone retells it. And obviously in this context it's not actually a legend, it's like it's history because it's real life people and it's their descendants. It's also not doing it in like a super info dumpy way because it's kind of spread out. I'm 140 pages in, which is, I'm gonna guess is about halfway through, like just under halfway through, and we're still learning more, which I think is so important because a lot of the times books have this thing of just like telling you all the information at the beginning and then sending you on this adventure. That's all I have to say for now. Hello, good morning. It is Wednesday. No, it isn't. It's Thursday today. I have not made too much progress on Legendborn. I'm still enjoying it. It is still a good book. I really want to prioritise it. However, I will say I've been making more leeway on my cardigan. So I know that you're not here on this channel for a cardigan. You may be, but I don't think you are. I think most people watch my videos for books. However, I'm going to show you because I'm very proud of this cardigan. It's over there. I actually haven't done all that much. I think I'm like halfway done with the back panel, but I just wanted to show you because I think it looks really cute. This is what we've got going on. Don't mind that rubbish over there. I've got some extra squares here. Basically, I have managed to do 5 squares and put them together. I'm also in love with this pattern. And it's actually a very, very simple thing. I kind of just started, you know, making the square as I usually would. And then basically, for anyone out there that knows different crochet thingy-mabobs, I basically just went between a single crochet and a double crochet and just like switched and then switched colour, and it gives that kind of, I guess, herringbone kind of pattern, and it's really cute. That is literally all I have to say because I have not read anything. That is all I have to say for now. Ciao. Good morning. It is Friday, and all I wanted to say was I love this book so much. Okay, first of all, I look a mess, but I literally do not care because this book is so bloody amazing, guys. The characters are just each so unique and different and like so fully fleshed out. Like, I feel like they're real people and like I want to be surrounded by them. I mean, some of them I want to avoid like the plague, but some of them I just find so endearing. I think Brie is such an interesting character, but she's not my favourite. I literally look like I've just crawled out of a grave. Oh my god, that is not any better. Bloody hell. An interesting thing is this deals with grief. She's lost her mum and she's trying to figure out like how this all connects to this secret society. And you can just see throughout the book how she is not only learning things, she's also processing that grief that I don't think she had the ability to do beforehand. But I've got to say, she's not my favourite character. My favourite character is probably going to be Sel. And if you guys have read this book, I hope you would know why he would be someone's favourite character. He is just, for the fact that he is honestly one of the most complex characters. And like on the surface level, he's just one of those really angsty kind of teenage, like, oh my god, I hate my life. I'm gonna take it out on everyone, I'm always angry all the time. And then just as you learn more about him, you realise why that is. I'm a sucker for an angsty character. I think he's great. I think he's bloody fantastic. And also just like the interactions between him and Brie are top notch. I really want this to be adapted. I'm thinking a TV show would be bloody great. I want this to be taken so seriously. I want them to make a TV series. I want them to really focus on like the characters and the character building and the motivations, because I think it's so beautiful and I think it'd be so well done if there was a director who could literally just translate what's in the books with a really dark atmosphere and dark kind of colour scheme. I'm just rambling now. I know nothing about making TV shows. I just like to think I do. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I wasn't supposed to talk for this long, but I'm gonna go now. So it's actually Saturday today. I didn't update the vlog yesterday. I finished Legendborn, and I don't think there's really much to add to what I said before. I think I've made it very clear what I thought about it. I will just say that I was reading the author's note at the end of it, and I don't know if you ever have like a situation where you read a book and you've really enjoyed the book, you've really enjoyed the characters and the story and everything, and then when you read the author's note and kind of understand everything that went into creating that book, it just gives you like shivers. Like, I was literally like, I had goosebumps, I had like tears in my tear ducts ready to go. Based on reading it, I could tell that there was obviously so much preparation and love and dedication that gone into it, but reading the author's note and it being put into words, just how much thought had gone into it, really, like, it made me feel a lot of feelings. I love it when a book is written with intent. You know, there was clearly a lot of intentions behind it. The author actually mentioned that they themselves had gone through a similar sort of grieving process, or like they basically also lost their mum. The author said that they had also experienced that, and that was kind of what their family was like as well, and that kind of inspired the whole situation. And then they just obviously used some fantastical elements. They did some research into like Arthurian legend. I was really astounded by what she did. Like, honestly, the amount of effort that went into this. But the thing is, it's not effort done just for the sake of writing a good book. It was clearly effort done in order to, like, it was almost like her own grieving process, I guess, to write this book. I mean, I can't say that it was how she grieves, but like, I can imagine it's very therapeutic, and there's a lot of like also psychological elements, not in terms of the story being psychological to read, but more a case of like thinking about the mental state of this person who has lost their mum really early on. I think I've said what I need to say. I will just end on, I love Cell. Cell is my favourite character. I love him so much, like genuinely. He reminds me of a certain character from a series that I read that just basically, you know those characters where they start off being like a total asshole. You don't think you're gonna like them, and then like slowly you seem to realise, like you realise why he is that way, and it just becomes very endearing. I'm just gonna end it on that. So that was my final update on Legendborn. Really loved it. It's definitely a favourite of this year so far, and I cannot wait for the sequel to come out. I think it's like July next year, which is really sad because that's like over half a year. Since then I've moved on to reading The Cousins by Cardigan McManus. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to read because Legendborn is just one of those books that once you're done with it, you're like, do I really want to pick anything else up, because nothing's going to live up to this. But I thought I would go for something a little bit different, so I went for a thriller. This one should be super easy to read. What are my thoughts so far? So I'm only like 20 pages in. I'm like a couple of chapters in. I've met 2 of the main characters. We've got 3 main characters, they're cousins, but they don't really speak to each other that much. I feel like they have very distinct personalities. They're going to be very different from each other. And that's always really interesting to see, and see how people react with each other when they're so different. And basically the whole scenario is that they have this grandmother who for some reason all of a sudden stopped talking to their parents, and they don't know why that is. So I have a feeling there's a lot of mystery. There's a lot of, this is, Cardigan McManus usually has a lot of mystery. It's kind of like a mystery thriller, and this is already within 2 chapters set up quite a few mysteries, not only to do with like the main overarching plot, what's going on with this grandmother, like what happened between the grandmother and her children in the past, why is she not talking to them, and also like within each individual family, because there's like obviously family dramas for each individual family. Also, I forgot to mention that basically this grandmother sends letters to these 3 grandchildren and basically says that she wants them to come and work at this kind of like resort, this kind of prestigious resort that she basically owns. So she wants them to come and work there so that she can kind of, I guess, spend time with them without having to look after them, which also kind of a bit of a dick move. I'm a grandmother, I should be looking after you, but instead I'm gonna get you to work for me. If my grandparents tried to do that, I would say no thank you, but I guess granted the situation with the parents and everything, whatever. But it will make for an interesting plot, I'm hoping. If I'm going off of all of the author's other books, I'm going to enjoy this. I think that's going to be the end of this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you want to stick around to see more of my content. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video.